Hi everyone, I'm Judy and this is Judy's Take. So today I wanted to do a sort of midweek recap on the events that have happened, and specifically I wanted to kind of stick to the bunch of news that we heard yesterday on September 16th. So let's see. The day started with Trump tweeting, where he basically accused Joe Biden of being a pedophile, and then he retweeted this doctored video where it showed Biden going up to the stage in Florida where he's trying to do, a Hispanic outreach. And it showed that he supposedly started playing the NWA's F the Police. And that wasn't what it was. Biden played Despacito. And basically, he's trying to pay tribute to the Puerto Rican artist when he was speaking to a crowd of a lot of Puerto Ricans. And so anyways, it was so fake that even Twitter put a little sign on there that said manipulated video. But, of course, his followers seen it, and his millions of followers seen it, and there's going to be so many of them that believe that crap. They're not gonna try to figure out that it's not real. And this is all in an attempt for Trump to keep doing what he's trying to do, which is say that he's pro-police, and if you vote for Biden, then, he's gonna defund the police, and you're gonna be in more danger in your communities, and blah, 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 blah. Basically, the undertones of, I'm racist, and you should be racist too, and a lot of you are, so you don't want black and brown people in your communities, and now they're going to disband the police, so when you call, the police aren't going to show up, and blah, 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 blah. And honestly, it baffles my mind how people even believe that crap. I don't know how many times someone has to say, this is not true, for that to, and it's provable that it's not true. Of course, Trump tries to say a lot of things aren't true, which they are, which brings me to my next point. So, Trump had a town hall on Tuesday, and he had some hard questions from the voters on there, which I think it's funny because he can't just do to them what he does to the reporters and just move on when he doesn't like a question. But he tried though. He basically dismissed a lot of the concerns that the voters had about how he handled the coronavirus. Like, one of them asked him, why did you downplay the virus? And he's like, I didn't downplay it. Actually, I kind of upplayed it. It's like, dude, you were on a recording, not a secret recording, a recording that you wanted, by the way. And you said you downplayed it. You said, I downplayed it. And actually, I like downplaying it. Then you go to your rallies and you continue to downplay it even after the news comes out that you said you downplayed it. And you can sit there and say, oh, I didn't. But, everybody heard you. it's really like a lot of people compare it to, they say Orwellian times right now. And it's like, we really are. It's like, don't believe, what you hear. Don't believe what you see. And, that's basically how he's handled a lot of things. And then finally, he had a press conference later on in the day where he was. They asked him about the CDC director or whatever. Like, the CDC director talked to Congress in a testimony where he said that masks actually would be more effective right now against the virus than any vaccine coming out right now. And so then, that completely contradicts what Trump has been pushing out there. And if you see any of the videos where his supporters are talking, what do? They sit there and say, oh, you think this little mask is going to protect me? This little piece of cloth is going to protect me from anything? And it's like, yeah, it is. It's like there's little medical devices like that protect you from a lot, So it just, it totally contradicts the narrative that's out there. The narrative that Trump did, by the way, like, he's the cause of this because he downplayed the virus. I mean, he still continues to, like, make fun of Joe Biden and anyone else who wears a mask. He's like, well, he's wearing a mask. He wears it even though he's away from all these people. On the stage and whatnot. Maybe he's scared. He's hiding behind the mask. It's like, no, he is doing what leaders should do and leading by example. And you're not, dude. Like, you keep playing it down, and you're killing people. Like I said in my last video, like, you lied to people and you're still doing it. And the oddest thing to me is that a lot of your supporters are going to be the ones who die. And that's just the truth. Some people have started wising up to the fact that you don't give a crap about them. Oh yeah, so back to the CDC director. I found it funny, the fact that he was... the fact that he said, he misspoke. And he's like, I called him and I said, really? Like, what the hell? And then supposedly the CDC director was like, oh, I misspoke. And he's like, you can call him and I bet you he'll tell you that he misspoke. And it's like, okay, sure. The CDC director said that. But what stood out to me, like, honestly, with that whole thing, what I gathered from what he said was pretty much, yeah, I called him and I harassed him and I bullied him. And I guarantee you, I set him straight. And now he's going to tell you what I told him to tell you and not what's actually true. Like, that's literally what I gathered from it. And I wouldn't be surprised if he comes out and he changes his statement and saying that he misspoke. And he didn't misspeak. He was under oath. Like, he was speaking truth. I mean, yeah. Not saying that people who are under oath speak truth all the time, but I'm just saying that he was very, like, adamant about it. Like, about what he said about the fact that the masks are the best protection against the virus right now. And it doesn't go against what any of the other experts have said either. So it's in line with what's been fact now for a while. And so he didn't misspeak. But I'm pretty sure Trump probably called him and harassed him and told him to change up what he was saying. You know, like, that's what I gather from it. When someone sits there, like, it reminds me of, like, an abusive husband or boyfriend sitting there going and talking to their girlfriend or wife after some incident of abuse, and where the wife essentially calls them out, or, you know, tells people, you know, accidentally slips and tells people that they've been abused. And then the husband's like, oh, okay, we'll go talk. And then they talk, and the husband's like, oh, you should talk to her now. I bet you she'll tell you that she was mistaken and that I didn't hit her. I accidentally bumped into her and she hit her face like 5 times in my fist. Yeah, that's that's what that tells me, honestly. Like, he's a bully. And I don't know why, but people in the government are scared of this dude for some reason. Like, Trump's a little bitch. Why are you scared of this dude? You're scared that what? He's gonna tweet on Twitter? Ooh. Like, I'm not even on Twitter. Like, I wouldn't care. It's like, whatever, dude. You know, it's like you sit there and you have to use fear and lies in order to, you know, get people to follow you. You appeal to the worst side of them. You know, like, that's not being a strong leader at all. That's not appealing to fear. That's what dictators do. That's not what strong men do. So, anyways, I felt like I had to give my take on this because there was a lot of stuff yesterday that just was ridiculous. And then, you know, wake up this morning, they're still talking about how the CDC director, whatever, how it's a big deal that Trump straight up contradicted him, you know, and this whole thing started because of, you know, Trump's sitting there trying to paint Joe Biden and Kamala Harris out to be anti-vaxxers. And it's like, no, they're not anti-vaxxers. It's just that when you sit there and bully the, you know, CDC and whatever to come out with a vaccine, and you're sitting there promoting like Russian vaccine and everything, that, you know, you're rushing through these trials. And, you know, as much as like I want a vaccine and as much as everybody wants a vaccine, we don't want vaccines that have been rushed through and we don't even know the effects of them, honestly. Like, if you don't have enough people, like, how are you going to know the effects of this stuff? You know, like, what was it, that one company? I forgot what it was. Like, anyways, they had, you know, they canceled their trials because one of the participants got some kind of spinal something from one of the vaccines that they've been trying. And it's like, oh yeah, great, I want to have spinal problems for the rest of my life just because I want to protect myself from this virus. And it's like, no, just do things right. How about that? How about you stop worrying about whether or not this vaccine is going to come out before the election? You know, if you would have just done your job, that you knew about this stuff back in January. Think about that. Back in January, you knew, and you kept your mouth shut. And then when you did open your mouth, it was all BS. You opened your mouth to just say a whole bunch of BS, to make it political. Like, I don't know how on earth this guy was able to make a disease political, but he did it. And now, you know, I guess we're number one. This dude likes to be number one. We're number one in cases and deaths. So it's just mind-boggling. And he's probably going to continue this BS, and, you know, he's trying really hard to make himself seem like, oh yeah, he's this great leader and he handled the pandemic really, really well. And don't believe the words that I said to Bob Woodward. Don't believe them. He's like, I'm gonna make my own reality. So anyways, that's all I got for you guys today. I could speak about so much more, but I'm gonna keep this semi-short. So thanks for listening, you guys. If you like my video, please give it a like. Subscribe to my channel. Don't just watch my thing. Subscribe, you guys, and you'll get more notifications, and I'll make some more videos. So if you like my take, give it a like, and I will see you guys soon.